Now, tell us what you are running for here in Phoenix. What's
the Arizona House of Representatives, District 4, which is one of the most competitive districts in Arizona. It actually could determine the fate of Arizona in the House of Representatives and our legislature. We have only one seat majority in the House and one in the Senate. And so if we lose one seat, it won't go well for us here in Arizona because we're very conservative here. So.
Yes, what are the main issues which voters that you are trying to reach worried about?
The border is, making sure the border is secure. We have millions coming into our nation, as you know, and thousands pouring in across our borders here in Arizona. It's one of the main crossings for illegal immigration. My family actually came over from Mexico to work in the copper mines. My great-grandfather on my mom's side, so I'm only half Latina, but they became legal, and so I think we need legal immigration, and I'd like to make it a little easier for folks so they don't have to stand in line for 10 years. We want them to come in legally. We want to vet them and make sure that we know who's coming into our state. And then our economy, I think, has just really plummeted since Biden took office and the Biden-Harris administration. And I think people are really concerned about the price of gas, food, necessities. Just to go to the store, you end up spending like 4 times the amount that we used to. I know myself. I just went in for a few items the other day. I ended up spending over $100. I probably would have bought that for $50. I don't eat a lot, but I do need to eat.
Now, you have worked for the Trump campaign,
yes,
did you?
I
In
did.
the last election, was it?
2020, I worked for President Trump, the Victory staff. I was one of the state directors for Trump Victory here in Arizona. We worked really hard. I reached out mainly to the faith community, but also Women for Trump, Pro-Life Voices, and also worked for the Latinos as well as the Black Voices. And we had a great team. We had so much fun. It was a really fun campaign.
And you're obviously attempting to move into politics yourself. You would align yourself with Trump's vision, with Trump's views?
I think some of what he stands for, like the border and the economy, he's pro-business. Those are things that I am running on here in our district. People just want common sense solutions. They don't want, all the crazy rhetoric. They just want, what are you going to do for me? How can it better my family? What do you want for your family? You want better prices. You want to not have to pay a boatload at the gas pump. And we just want to keep our elections and everyone just feeling safe in their schools. So I am a pro-constitutional Republican.
One of the things New Zealanders sometimes struggle with, we hear a lot of the comments that Trump might make that are controversial, some of the rhetoric, some of the things that upset people. How should we interpret them? And obviously it upsets people in America too. What do you make of that?
Well, he's a New Yorker. You have to remember that. New York speaks their mind. They don't filter it a lot through the political spectrum. And so I think he just says what he feels. And, I think a lot of times he's taken out of context. And but I do think he probably could dial it back a little, and be a little more appealing to both sides.
Yeah, why is it so divided in America? Why it seems as though there's two very divided camps.
It is divided, but people all they have to do is look at the economy since Biden took over, look at the border, and look at, are you better off now than you were 4 years ago? Basically, are you? I'm not, and I know a lot of Arizonans aren't. So, especially here in Arizona, we're a more conservative state. And our Arizona could determine everything that happens here in America. So I think Arizona is key in this election. And I think we're doing really well. You know, our numbers came in today, and it looks really good for Republicans. So I'm excited.
I'm now reading about you. Your sister was well known as Wonder
Yes.
Woman. Is that right?
Well, back in the day, yes, that's true. That is true.
And she doesn't necessarily support Trump, or does she support you? How does that work?
How does it work? I don't know. I have no idea. All I know is a lot of families are divided. I love my sister, but I do not agree with her politics, and she doesn't agree with mine. But I think we can have civility, we can discuss issues. But I think when it starts dividing families, then I think it's not healthy, it's not good. We're all, you know, we grew up together, we were really good friends, best friends growing up, and it's sad to me that she's taken such a left turn, and I just am maintaining the Arizona values I grew up with and my Christian values. I'm a very strong Christian, and so I've stood really strong on those.
And you're feeling optimistic that you can win?
Absolutely, we can win. Yes, our numbers came in today, and
This is the local numbers for you.
local, well, Arizona, Republicans are voting in record numbers, and the early votes are coming in, and it's looking really good for us. I think we're getting out the vote. We have a lot of amazing volunteers, like this lady in back of me. They've been here all day talking to voters and handing out voter guides, and we're just super excited about winning this.
What do you think will happen on election nights if the election result's not clear cut? Are you worried that there'll be not necessarily trouble, but that it may be contested or it may be unclear?
Well, I think if people get out, I'm going to say this. If people vote early, get their ballot in, drop it at a voting location now rather than waiting until election night. That's what happened in 22. People waited too long to go to the polls, and it really cost us in 22. But I think as long as all of our good Republicans show up, we do have a majority of Republicans here in Arizona. So I'm encouraging all of my people, and as well as the independents. We have a lot of independents that are worried about the border. They're worried about their schools. I am a strong proponent of school choice, which I believe children should have a choice for their education. How about you in New Zealand? Do you have school choice? Do you have public?
We are just beginning to have some school choice through a thing called charter schools. But we have predominantly ours is a public education system.
Good. Well, I think public education's great, but I think if your child has a problem learning, then let's find out how we can help them learn. And we just take a portion of the public education and put it toward a charter school. And then parents or private schools, they can make their own choices for their child. And I believe in parental rights.
Now tell me, just finally, the abortion issue is a measure on the ballot here in Arizona?
Yeah, 139, Prop 139. We already have a 15-week abortion law here in Arizona. In other words, a woman can get an abortion if she's 15 weeks pregnant. But this Prop 139 goes way too far. It is abortion up to birth. In other words, 9 months, you can abort your child. I'm not a supporter of Prop 139. I think it's way too extreme. And I think most Americans and most Arizonans feel the same way.